All right, Nurse and Bandits, let's talk about it. So, we finished Whole Cake Island. Yeah, it got to a point where I had kind of slowed down on my videos, only so I can like blow through the rest of Whole Cake Island so I can give you one massive video. So instead of, I guess, episode by episode breakdown, I'm gonna give you one giant summary of my whole feelings when it came to Whole Cake Island. Good, bad, ugly, even though there isn't anything ugly, it's more good and all. But nevertheless, with all that being said, please, if you guys don't mind, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Let's get into this video, Nurse and Bandits, because, whoo, there's a lot to talk about. So for starters, without teasing you until the end and saying, oh, you know, I'm gonna wait until you guys get all the way to probably like 5-10 minutes or so, then I'm gonna talk about this fight. No, let's talk about the Luffy versus Katakuri fight. Because that man Luffy was getting his ass kicked in so many ways, you would have thought that Katakuri was gonna write a book about it. Don't put Katakuri in a one-piece fighting game, because this man is a zoner, a up-close grappler. He does everything, and it's literally unfair. You wanna escape? Nope, my quirk awakening makes the ground like mochi, so I can make you get stuck, and I can go ahead and just create everything and make it all, you know, jiggly wiggly to literally beat your ass. You want to throw hands up close. Okay, let me make sure my mochi is hard enough to literally out-strengthen you, and then what? You're still not gonna do anything. Gum Gatling, you say? Psh, I could do that too. But of course, stronger, and basically make these like little donut mochi teleporters where they literally come find you at any given angle. Like, Luffy was outclassed in so many different ways in this match, and I'm like, bro, you're not getting out of this without somebody coming to save you. And then Luffy tries to go Gear 4, and Katakuri wasn't having that either. Like, Eren Yeager must have gotten this idea from Katakuri, because Katakuri looked at Luffy like, why would I let you transform and try to get stronger? Like, no, I'm gonna take you out now. And it didn't make it any better for Luffy that he actually saw Katakuri's real face. It's even crazy once you go to actual Katakuri's backstory, you see that they basically call this man a pelican his whole life. But of course, we see that Katakuri is human just like us, because even though he's supposed to be this super perfect brother, this super embodiment of strength and undefeated character, no, he still enjoys the nice things in life too. This man is having a tea party, eating donuts, laying on his back, even though he told the rest of his family he's never been on his back before. And now it's like, yo, look at this man. And it's evident that he upholds honor, considering the fact that once he found out his sister has previously injured Luffy to, like, you know, make his legs numb so he couldn't dodge attacks. No, he injured himself to make it even ground. But that is a great amount of respect, not only as a fighter, but of course as a captain when it comes to, like, being a part of Big Mom's crew. Nevertheless, when all hope seems to be lost, we get, of course, a flashback to Luffy training with Rayleigh. With Rayleigh telling him that not everybody is an animal, so you cannot expect them to just all of a sudden show their emotions very, very easily in the fight. Like, you gotta learn how to predict things. Which Luffy, slowly but surely, ends up starting to gain more access or gain a stronger level of observation haki where he can semi-see in the future, which of course helped him get very, very decisive blows on Katakuri. And with that type of ass whooping plus the rest of the preparation he was trying to do, we already know where this is going. Luffy pulled up that hockey arm, started blowing, and we get this clean looking Gear 4 Snake Man power up. Now at first I was wondering what's so different between Snake Man and Bounce Man outside of the fact that, you know, he's much, much skinnier and I guess more body proportionate. And of course, what I saw and found out is that this man, Luffy, is fast. He was casually going around blinking and speed blitzing Katakuri at certain points, and I'm like, yo. But of course, it didn't stop from both of them basically wearing each other out. And the craziest part about it is before he actually passed out, he asked Luffy, will someday he come back and take down Big Mom? Which Luffy says yes to because he's gonna become king of the pirates. And with that, Katakuri finally loses and falls on his back. A very fitting end, even though he's not dead, but a very fitting end to a very, very great villain. So with that being said, let's talk about the menace known as Big Mom. I've said it once and I'll say it again. With how everything goes on with Big Mom, I would rather live on Fire and Ice Punk Hazard than live on Whole Cake Island, because she just does too much. Being an emperor and being as strong as you are, yeah, that's one thing. Nevertheless, having them hunger pains and literally destroying your own country and then waking up with no knowledge of it is just like even worse. And I gotta trade in my soul just to live there as like a tribute? No. Nevertheless, one con that I did have is the fact that this man survived. Like, there's so many other ways Big Mom could have gotten around. Nevertheless, this human licky tongue survived a point blank explosion to the face, and I'm like, all right, man. Like, to me, other than travel reasons, he served no other purpose after that. Nevertheless, Big Mom lands on a Straw Hat ship and just starts destroying it after that. Still searching for this wedding cake, which, if she wasn't so much in her hunger pangs, she would have seen it's not there. And that's because Sanji, Chiffon, and Pudding are still, of course, in the process of making this cake. But of course, all of that does not matter to Big Mom because, again, she's hungry and she's craving wedding cake. During this time, though, they're being attacked by the rest of Big Mom's crew. And ironically, this is during a night where there's a full moon, which we see Carrot transform into this beautifully, aesthetically pleasing mink transformation. Like, no furry shaming, but I know y'all were having fun with this. Like, Carrot legitimately looks great. She literally went from, oh, let's go study in the library at 2 p.m. today, to I'm driving a boat with Casamigos. And not only that, but she proceeds to wreck shop. The only drawback, unfortunately, is that if she stays like that too long, she will go unconscious and, of course, die. But, of course, you know, the Straw Hats don't play with that, so they save her before they can sit back and she gets to that point. Nevertheless, the cake is now finished. And Oven, being the hothead he is, pun intended, literally sits there and says, all right, you know, you guys can go ahead. Doesn't know that Sanji's there, of course, with them, but says, Chiffon, no, you come with me. You wanted to plot against Big Mom, so as your brother, I have to be the one to take you out. Which her father does not play about. And what makes this sadder is they, of course, show his backstory as well. Because once he, of course, did the deed with Big Mom, she basically kicked him out and said, no, you ain't gonna ever see your children again. And it's sad because they don't even know who he is, but he knows who they are. Like, he never got a chance to actually sit down with his daughter or even his grandchild and sit back and tell them the stories and how much he loves them. He just, of course, was able to see them smile and wave before he was taken off of this earth. He was a true father, wanting to sit back and actually be there for his children, but did not have the opportunity or was not allowed the opportunity without, of course, being persecuted and just ostracized. This character was sad. I love this character. As much as ugly as he looks at being funny, I thoroughly love this character. Rest in peace, but I really wish he was able to just have a conversation. On a much lighter note, because I know that was kind of heavy, let's get back into, you know, the plan of waiting for Luffy to pop up out of the mirror dimension. During this whole kerfuffle waffle, Jinbei is folding Big Mom. Well, not really, but of course he's getting decisive hits in, and it's like really turning the tide for them. This is also when we find out that the cake is now on Beiji's ship, and they're moving Big Mom away from Cacao Island. During all of this, though, the Straw Hats are literally cornered from the front of the Cacao Island to behind with Smoothie and her fleet. And it seems like, of course, all hope is lost. There's nothing that they can do. Until we find out that the fishmen were literally there from the jump to help them. They were the ones that was knocking out all of course, I believe the tracking sea snails and everything to make sure that they were never found, as well as they're literally helping to diversify and like move away the fleet, so that way the Straw Hats can sit back and they can do what they can to get Luffy and get out of Whole Cake Island territory. Whew, 8 minutes in, and of course we got to get some rapid fire in because I know there's a lot more to talk about, so I'm gonna go ahead and speed through some of this. First things first, Germa 66 goes and helps Sanji retrieve Luffy so they can get back to their ship. And for it to play a role later, even though Judge still does not like Sanji, and of course, like, why would you save him, Luffy? He's just a failure or nothing. Sanji now has a raid suit. Big Mom finally got to eat the wedding cake, and of course, it wasn't poison or anything. She loves it. And they, of course, Beiji and his crew, as well as her daughter, was able to escape. Peckums went out like a G, doing what he could to help Luffy as well because of his loyalty to Pedro. And his mink transformation is super clean as well, too. Luffy gives one final major command to Jinbei and say, look, man, I know that's your crew over there, that was your crew, and I understand that you were the captain and everything. Go help, but remember, you are still a Straw Hat. You are now a Straw Hat. You better come back to this ship alive. Which is some very GOAT captain stuff, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you join me, but I understand what these people mean to you. So I'm still going to allow you to go and help them out. So that way we can escape. Just make sure you come back to us. Love you, Luffy. That is some real leadership. Luffy's really becoming more and more of a leader. I love that. Pudding is also hurt because now I guess she really fell in love with Sanji because he's actually seen her for her true beauty, even though she was acting very bipolar. And of course, I believe they emphasized that they shared a kiss and she erased his memories and everything. I also believe that Pudding is a child. We're just not going to talk about that though, because ugh. And finally, of course, we talk about how Brûlée and Katakuri have this really deep down relationship with each other to where she knew he was laying on his back the whole time, but she still kept the facade up because she loves him and he protects her. But with that, the Straw Hats are now free and they're heading to Wano. With that being said, thank you all for checking out my video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe for more. We will see you in Reverie.